The answer in question number 1 is true, because we need to make sure that our knees and elbows are bent, so that in case if we need to do a sudden brake, we have a power to depress the brake. Question number 2. When a vehicle is driven on a learner's permit for a practice, a learner driver sign must display in the designated position on either the front or rear of the vehicle. So the answer here is false. So the sign must display in the designated position in the front and rear of the vehicle. So it's not or, it's and. Question number 3. So this question is one of the complicated questions that they are giving during the exam. So I may advise you need to carefully read the question, if possible to read it 3 times to make sure that whatever statement you're reading is correct. So in number 3, this is false, because if you will read the question, overtaking or passing automobiles or mopeds is prohibited at pedestrian crossing or bicycle crossing within 30 meters before and after. So the question seems like correct, but that 30 meters is before the pedestrian crossing, not after. That's why it's false. The answer in question number 4 is true. So on general roads, the maximum speed is 60 km per hour for automobiles and 30 km per hour for mopeds. So the answer is true. The answer here in number 5 is true. So whenever you are changing lane, first thing you need to do is to look on your back mirror to ensure the safety at the back, and then after that open your flashing light, it's either left or right, for 3 seconds and then change lane. The answer in number 6 is false, because the given image is not for the danger of strong wind, but rather this image is for slippery roads. Number 7. Those who do not hold a driver license must not drive automobiles or mopeds on the roads even a short distance. So the answer here is true. If you don't have a license, don't drive. Number 8. The answer is true. So whenever you are changing lane, you need to signal 3 seconds before intending to change. In the question number 9, it's false, because when the traffic signal for cross traffic turns red, it doesn't really mean that the traffic signal ahead is always green, because here in Japan, sometimes they are giving the pedestrian more time to cross. That's the reason why it's not always green. So the answer here is false. Well, in question number 10, the answer here is false. Well, I will explain it why. But before that, let me tell you something. Whenever you are taking the examination for the Karimenkyo or Honmenkyo, you need to review this kind of question, because when I took the exam for the Karimenkyo and Honmenkyo, it always appeared. with a different scenario. So this kind of scenario, which is the emergency vehicle is approaching behind you on a location that is not an intersection or near at intersection. So vehicle your vehicle doesn't really mean that you must stop. All you have to do is to move to the left and slow down and let that emergency vehicle to pass. And if you are on a one-way street, you need to move to the right so that that vehicle, which is the emergency vehicle, will pass on your left. Lastly, the tip that I can give you in this emergency vehicle approaching, if you are at the intersection and the emergency is approaching behind you, you must not stop immediately. So all you have to do is to leave the intersection so that that emergency vehicle may pass. Or if you are near the intersection, as long as you are avoiding the intersection, you can stop. The answer in number 11 is true. So this is the important things you need to do before starting your engine. So you need to check your surrounding and also the tires and underneath your vehicle, those blind spot that you can't see, you need to check them all. Number 12. The answer is true. Well, the yellow pavement markings indicated strong regulation than those indicated with white pavement. (13) On the given image below, a car from lane A can change lane to lane B. So the answer is false. You cannot do that. But if you are traveling from lane B and you want to change your lane to lane A, that is possible. So on this number 13, it's false. Question number 14. The answer is true. So if there is no vehicular lanes, so all you have to do is to make sure that you are driving on the left, since we are here in Japan. And question number 15. On the given image below, all the vehicles are prohibited and the pedestrian may pass. So this one is false. So that sign, it's written in kanji, tsuko dome. So it means both vehicles and pedestrians cannot enter, cannot pass. Number 16. The answer here is false, because the given image is an arrow which is going to the right. So once the arrow is going to the right, that means it's the beginning. But if the arrow is going to the left, that means end. So this is false. Alright, number 17. The answer is true. So if there's someone crossing on a pedestrian lane, you have to stop on the stop line before it. But if the pedestrian lane is clear, no one is about to cross, you can continue at the same speed. Number 18. A driver may overtake in a tunnel after confirming it's safe to overtake. Well, the answer here is false, The question seems like it's correct, but you need to make sure whenever you're talking a tunnel, before you can overtake in a tunnel, you need to make sure that there is a vehicular lane in it, because if there's not, it's dangerous. So if there's no vehicular lane, you cannot overtake. The answer here is false. Alright, so number 19, the answer here is false. You do not need to slow down. All you have to do is to reduce your speed to avoid accident. Number 20. The answer here is true. As long as you confirm it's safe and there's a traffic light which is blinking yellow, you can proceed at the same speed. And also, if it's blinking red, even though it's safe, you need to stop first. And then after you stop, that is the time you cross or you move. Alright, question number 21 is true. So 2 adults is equivalent to 3 kids under 12 years old. Alright, number 22. The answer here is false. Because if you're facing the policeman, you are considered as perpendicular to him. So it means if you're facing the policeman, it's red. But if the question here is parallel to the face of the police officer, it means that is yellow. Question number 23. The answer here is false, because whenever you are tired, your senses deteriorates. That causes your reaction distance become longer, not the braking distance. So remember, reaction distance plus braking distance equals to stopping distance. Number 24. The answer is false, because the pavement marking below, it means that there is a pedestrian crossing ahead. Number 25. Last question. It's prohibited to overtake a regular driver with a novice driver sign. Well, the answer here is false. It is not prohibited to overtake them, but it's prohibited to cut their way, because this driver that has the sign, they are not really experienced driver yet. That's why if you will cut their way, there's a big tendency that accident will occur.